Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Megan Rapinoe was confronted by a reporter at Seattle Pride and asked to explain her controversial opinion that trans athletes should be able to compete against biological women. The former U.S. soccer star, 38, was the Grand Marshal of the Pride Parade in Seattle on Sunday, and she sat atop a drop-top car alongside her fiancé, WNBA legend Sue Bird. Midway through the parade, as crowds watched on from the roadside, Rapinoe was confronted by a reporter from the Post-Millennial, who demanded answers over her views on trans athletes in women's sport. After approaching Rapinoe's car, the reporter can be heard saying, "Your U.S. women's soccer team famously lost to high school boys. Do you really think it's fair for these same boys to be competing in girls' sports?" Midway through the question, Rapinoe is seen laughing at the reporter, before turning to her fiancé and muttering under her breath, "Oh my God." She then bends down to pick up her drink, before Bird, a Seattle Storm basketball legend, puts her arm around Rapinoe's shoulder to comfort her. Not content with the answer, the reporter, Katie Davis-Court, then continues to probe, while a security guard plants himself between her and Rapinoe's car. Despite being blocked, Davis-Court continues, "Do you think it's fair? Why should trans people should compete against young girls? Do you think they're gonna get hurt?" Rapinoe's car then drives off to continue the parade, and she can be seen applauding the crowds as she leaves the reporter in her wake. On social media, fans immediately piled into Rapinoe, with one calling her gross, while another added, "It is important to inform the public as to what kind of person Megan Rapinoe is." Elsewhere, another ex-user wrote, "This response speaks volumes." The soccer match referred to by the reporter took place in 2017, and saw Rapinoe captain a U.S. women's national team 11 against a group of under 15 boys in Dallas. The game was arranged to prepare the U.S. team for an international fixture against Russia, but ultimately ended in embarrassment, with the children running out 5-2 winners. In the years since, U.S. WNBA players have confirmed the game took place, with Carly Lloyd admitting, "Yes, it's true, they were good." On a multitude of occasions, Rapinoe has spoken out in favor of trans athletes competing in sport, most notably in her own field of soccer, and she has received much backlash over the controversial opinion. Recently, was branded shameful by Piers Morgan for her involvement in a letter to NCAA urging them not to ban trans athletes competing in women's sports. Rapinoe, wife Sue Bird and an array of other stars such as WNBA players Brianna Turner and Lashia Clarendon joint signed the letter, which says the biggest issues in women's sports are unequal pay, rampant sexual abuse and harassment of women and girl athletes, and a lack of equal resources for men's and women's teams. The letter adds, "By barring transgender athletes, you would be severely limiting the capacity of your member institutions to protect and support their athletes. Moreover, you would be actively disparaging transgender athletes, the same athletes you chose to protect when you agreed to serve on the Board of Governors." Morgan led the backlash in April, responding to news of the letter on X by writing, "Shameful to see women actively endorse unfairness and equality versus women." In July last year, before her retirement from soccer, she said she would welcome a trans player onto the national team. "Absolutely," she told Time. "You're taking a real woman's place. That's the part of the argument that's still extremely transphobic. I see trans women as real women. What you're saying automatically in the argument, you're sort of telling on yourself already, is you don't believe these people are women. Therefore, they're taking the other spot. I don't feel that way." Rapinoe is an outspoken LGBTQ advocate who helped the U.S. women's players obtain a new labor deal with the USSF that effectively pays female athletes the same as their male counterparts. "We as a country are trying to legislate away people's full humanity," she said. She took specific aim at those who claim to be protecting women's sports. "It's particularly frustrating when women's sports is weaponized," she continued. "Oh, now we care about fairness? Now we care about women's sports? That's total bulls."